So we have Daniel here today. I'm really excited to introduce Daniel. He is the founder of a company called Starloop. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard of Starloop or not, if you've given it a Google after you found out the topic today. But basically, Daniel was featured in Forbes Magazine for his leadership strategy with changing the world through regenerative commerce, which is a term that I have now been enlightened to, that I think Daniel's going to explain to us a little bit more as we go along. But I'm really excited to introduce Starloop for several reasons. It's just such a cool tool. We all recognize the need to have online reviews, right? It's very important to legitimize ourselves, legitimize our business. People aren't just walking into the banks to get a mortgage, they're Googling it. They want to find out what they can, once they get that recommendation. So they're going to be checking your reviews. That's how they legitimize you. So it's really important that we put a lot of attention into actually getting those reviews. And some people do struggle more than others to, actually make those asks and have their clients deliver. So Starloop comes in, and we're going to find out more as we go, but they basically help you get those reviews. They kind of take over that process for you. And not only that, but they offer a feel good for your client, because they plant a tree for every single review that's received, which is just, for me, so amazing. I absolutely was just enamored of hearing Daniel and his goals, and he's going to go on about them in a little bit. First, quick little background. Daniel's born in Vancouver Island, so he's a local here to us. However, he moved to Australia when he was 10 years old. Then he went to Canmore, so Alberta, when he was 24 to snowboard the Rockies. And now he's all the way back in Portugal. So he has quite a world traveler, very experienced. So we're very fortunate to have. What time is it there right now, Daniel?
It's coming up. It's just past 6 p.m. actually.
6 p.m. So outside of working hours. Thank you so much for giving us your time. We really appreciate it.
No worries,
and yeah,
pleasure.
without further ado, I'm going to change it over to you.
All right, fantastic. You should I be like pressing the share screen on my end?
Yeah,
right?
Go ahead and share your screen. Okay. So guys, as always, this is open. If you have questions, speak up or type in the chat. This is conversational, super casual. Put your cameras on. We'd love to see your faces, and we're going to get started.
So on my end, when I click share screen, it does say cannot share screen while the other.
Oh, that's okay. Let me just make you co-host. Okay, it should be good now.
There we go. Okay. Share screen. Yeah. Okay. All right, little screen check there. Can you guys
all
see
good.
It?
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. First of all, thanks for having me here. I get really passionate about talking online reviews and regenerative commerce. It's I don't know. It's a new subject for me. I feel like sorry, one sec. Somebody was just trying to join.
Oh, I got it. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
Cool. I feel like both of these subjects, online reviews are kind of white hot for marketing right now, but also the environment is at the front of everybody's mind, and it has been for a long time. I think especially for Canadians too, and we can probably thank thought leaders like David Suzuki for really pushing that narrative forward for decades. And I think Canadians in general.
Story. Sorry to interrupt, but
no,
I have a story. I once saw David Suzuki in an airport when I was a little girl, and I didn't know who he was, but my dad did. And my dad basically asked him for an autograph, and he said no.
Bastard.
So he might do good for the environment but he wasn't that nice. So that's why I David Suzuki reference.
Yeah, right. That's funny. So yeah, today we're going to look at how at Starloop we've been able to meaningfully intersect these two topics, reputation management and online reviews, along with ecology. And so, yeah, the first thing first here is just to really set the stage and talk about the trust economy and how basically you guys can drive growth in your mortgage business using online reviews and reputation. Online reviews are a huge factor for attracting new clients. And for everybody who's sticking around too, I've got a special offer at the end because it just wouldn't be a cool presentation if there wasn't. So the big idea we're talking about today is basically how to create a Starloop. And a Starloop is a term we came up with to describe when you get more reviews, you give yourself better positioning in the marketplace. That allows you to attract more clients, which in turn allows you to get more reviews, which allows you to attract more clients. It's a virtuous cycle, I guess you could say. So I'll share with you guys how you can create your own Starloop so that you can do exactly that. You can start to attract more clients. Here's Mortgage Line in Calgary, by the way. They've been a member with us since, well, for 19 months now. And they've increased their online reviews by 372% since they've been with us. And throughout the course of these slides here, we'll take a closer look at how they've accomplished this fantastic growth.
Yeah, we were hoping to have one of those guys on today from our Mortgage Line office. Unfortunately, they weren't able to join us, but if you guys do have questions about Starloop, I'm sure Braden Gabert, he'd be happy to answer them, or if you want me to put you in touch, I'm happy to do that as well.
All right. And so if you do see any chat or questions, can you please let me know?
Absolutely.
My screen is filled up right now.
Yeah, don't worry.
Cool. So yeah, first, what is the trust economy? So these days, it's a lot of things. It's ride sharing with complete strangers. It's sleeping in beds at Airbnbs of, complete strangers' homes. It's buying products sight unseen. Like we've all been doing that for years now, just jumping on Amazon, and we're not touching stuff. We're not feeling it. We're just reading reviews. And if there's a healthy ratio there, boom, we're doing it, because we trust that what we read is going to be reliable. And also for you guys, it's transacting with businesses that people don't know, right? They're going to jump online, they're going to research, they're going to try to get to know you before they pick up the phone and start engaging. And all these things are basically made possible because of something that I take granted for every single day now, which is online reviews. So that's it. Trust economy is essentially billions of people reading reviews every single day before they transact. And Sarah, do you do that? Do you read online reviews at all?
100%. Any restaurants I want to go to, any dentists I want to try, anything like that, I'm always looking at the reviews.
Yeah, me too. I think Adriana Stan said it quite well. She said, if you're not working to demonstrate trust, then the future might be about to leave you behind. Trust has become the most valued currency of modern time. It sways decisions. It's such a powerful force these days. Over the years, I've asked about 500 business owners and professionals this question here: how important is your reputation? And overwhelmingly, it's been interesting to me that the answer to this question from over 500 people has been really consistent. Overwhelmingly, this is what they say: their reputation is everything.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
These days, I'm going to go a bit further here and say that online reputation is everything, because as we go into like a post-COVID world here, reputation matters more than ever. 82% of consumers are now reading online reviews. This is just such a massive number that I really want to have as the first takeaway for all the listeners here today, that this isn't some passing fad. This is a profound shift in the way that humans purchase goods and services. So Braden at Mortgage Line in Calgary there, the graph that I showed you guys, is back in 2019, he caught on to this shift. He realized what was going, and he decided to make his online reviews a priority. And just for giggles, I did a screen capture of Google of what happens when you type in his company name, Mortgage Line. And you can see here that Google is actually auto-suggesting some stuff. And then the second one down there is reviews. All right, so yeah, why are we all reading so many reviews? Well, I mean, this is the kind of stuff I think about when I'm sipping my coffee because I'm such a nerd, but I think that it all comes down to risk aversion. I think we all still have some kind of primal hardwiring, something deep in our DNA that basically says like following the herd is safer and leaving the herd is dangerous, because we've all seen enough nature shows to know what happens when animals stray from the herd. Again, I'm not sure, but I just think that's what's at play. I think that's why most of us are gravitating towards the highest rated, most reviewed option available to us. It's because we're trying to minimize risk with our transactions, whether that's emotional risk, like you were talking about with dentists, if you're doing something medical, or if you're doing something with a lot of financial risk, like making an expensive purchase, like in the case of a home. Whenever either of those two things, emotional and financial risk, are in play, that's when we really start to become reputation sensitive and start to care and seek out the reviews and reputation of the service provider we're looking to engage with. Yeah, totally.
baselines of trust are, especially now that we're not meeting in person so much anymore, they're harder to establish, right? Just with one phone call kind of thing. So people, before they've even called you, the chances are they're vetting you online, right? They're going, and they're even, I heard recently, they're even going and looking at your Facebook, your social media. They're looking to just make sure that you are who you say you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They're looking for trust points, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what it comes down to is that in the new trust economy, basically every business is an online business. Every business is being rated and reviewed. Every business is being judged practically every single day. And the ones that are paying attention to this shift are basically riding a wave and getting as much 5-star reviews as they can, so they can win more clients. Okay, so getting reviews is very profitable, but if you've tried to get reviews before, and I'm sure there's some of you out there that have, you'll know that it's hard going. Like, people will tell you they'll write you reviews, but most of them just don't follow through.
Yeah, empty promises.
Yeah. And so, I've spent like the last 5 years like trying to understand what drives humans to actually write a 5-star review. And so the concept I'm going to share with you guys, it solves all these problems associated with getting reviews. And the hard work actually accidentally landed me an interview in Forbes. So yeah, there's 3 simple secrets here to getting 5-star reviews. And I call them reputation control secrets, how to build an epic online reputation in just 5 minutes per week. And these are 3 things that you'll want to take care of if you want to build a strong online reputation as fast as possible to attract new clients your way. First secret is this: it's all about the right language. What we discovered was kind of surprising. It was that don't ask for reviews if you want reviews. Yeah, getting reviews is a process, and lots of things have to happen in order for you and maybe your team to get a 5-star review. So getting a review is a process. And we discovered that by starting that process off by asking for a review is really one of the worst things to do to get a review. And why is that though?
Interesting.
Well, let's say you have a client called Rhonda, and I say, hey, Rhonda, can you write us an online review? Like, Rhonda can read between the lines. She knows that what I'm really asking her for is a good online review, right? Because I wouldn't be asking her if I wanted a crappy 1-star review. So I've essentially
recommendation more so, yeah.
I've engaged her with a loaded question, basically. And in marketing terms, loaded questions are bad for engagement. And if engagement suffers, then conversion is going to be terrible. So it took 24 months of testing to discover what I'm about to share with you. But it's essentially this: instead of asking for reviews, all of our language revolves around inviting people to leave online feedback. All right, you're inviting people to leave online feedback. And it's the 2 magic words in there: invite and feedback. The word invite has connotations of warmth, friendliness, inclusion. These are themes that humans obviously respond well to. And the word feedback is this nice neutral word. And it's kind of like, what are your thoughts? How did we do? And that neutrality of that word just takes away the loadedness of the entire situation. Using these 2 magic words, we can basically engage tastefully for a review, and it no longer sounds like that loaded question designed to, get a positive review. It's less, doesn't have that manipulative quality about it.
So language is everything. Using the word feedback instead of review.
Yeah, at least at the outset. We can loop in the word review later, and we do it at Starloop. But initially, that initial ask is about revolving around feedback.
Yep. Awesome.
All right. So that's secret number 1. If you want reviews, don't ask outright for reviews. Instead, invite your clients to leave online feedback. All right. This gets you more reviews, which gets you more clients, as we talked about with the Starloop. So the next 2 secrets are a little bit easier and a bit faster to cover. The first one is a key part of how Braden and his team essentially accelerated their review acquisition. You can see they had some reviews when they started with us, but it took them a long time to get those first 40 reviews.
Daniel, sorry, are you supposed to be sharing the slideshow?
The slideshow? Yeah. Is my slide deck not advancing?
No, well, it's not showing at all. Can you just hit share screen?
Oh, okay. Here I've been advancing through these fancy slides. And
no, it's just since you froze. It's okay. I think it like booted it out. That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries.
We were enjoying looking at your face, so I didn't say anything earlier.
All right. Okay. No worries. Yeah, I'll zoom ahead here. So there's the, the loaded question. Can you write us a good online review? The two
Of
magic
course.
words. And reputation control secret number one, asking correctly. All right. So, yeah, so Braden managed to really accelerate his review acquisition. And a key part is what I'm about to share with you now, which is, yes, reviews are very valuable, but there is something that's preventing us from getting a review. And it's this. I like to say that, Sarah, humans are busy, lazy people.
Yeah.
Right? All of us are busy, lazy people. We have so much to do in our lives. And in the case of our hypothetical client, Rhonda here, she's got tons of things that are more important than writing an online review. And I think too, she's frankly tired of being asked for reviews, because maybe in the last month, she's been asked for a review from her gym, the plumber that fixed her sink, the last Airbnb she stayed at, her hairdresser, her recent Amazon order, and even the last 4 apps she downloaded on her phone. They're all like, write us a review, write us a review. And so secret number 2, it solves this problem. And it's about invoking the law of reciprocity, or as I like to say, giving is the new getting. And when we give away the right thing at the right time, magic kind of happens. And at Starloop, what we do, as Sarah told you guys at the beginning here, is that we plant a tree for every review. Yeah, that's right. We plant 1 tree for every review. And something remarkable like the tree is needed, because reviews are valuable, but they're hard to get. In fact, getting reviews is so challenging that I had a Texan guy once tell me that he said, we run a great family business. People say they'll write us a review, but they never do. He said, what do I got to do? Like point a gun at them to get a review? I don't know if that's like Texan humor or what, but the good news is that we solved this problem without the use of firearms, which is simply to invoke the law of reciprocity. This
Feel goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, simple but powerful concept. Just this idea that if we do something nice for somebody, like plant a tree, then our client Rhonda is far more likely to pay attention to us out of all the people that are actually making that request. And she's far more likely to do something nice for us, like write a review.
Absolutely, because you stand out, right? And like you said, giving is the new getting. Like, I really think that not only is this a gift for nature and the environment and everything, but it's also you're giving that person a feel good moment in their day, which I don't think can be underestimated. Instead of giving them, well, I'm going to give you a $5 Starbucks gift card or whatever that people might not feel so good about receiving in exchange, you're giving them that, oh, I did something good. If I can take 5 minutes and do something good with my day, make a difference, I'm going to absolutely do that. And then I'm going to feel good about it.
Yeah, that's a huge motivator as well, right? Is that there's something in it for them. I think that there's, I'm not sure, but there's got to be like some physiology going on, like some endorphins or dopamine or something that gets triggered by the law of reciprocity, something that makes us feel good about the action that we're taking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
this is actually in if you read about influence books and whatnot, this is actually something in there that it is a sales tactic, but done right and given the right gift in the right moment, that it can't be anything with an agenda really, then it works. It does.
Right. And coming back around to your intro too about regenerative commerce, I know it might sound idealistic, but I do believe in a world where we can get to a point where every transaction triggers an act of regeneration. And tree planting is good for the planet, but as it turns out, it's great for business too. With tree planting, like we stand out from the pack and we get more reviews, which gets you more clients. In this case, just to walk you guys through the timeline here, when we invoke the law of reciprocity and say to Rhonda, look, a tree gets planted for every review we get, Rhonda's going to be thinking to herself something like, a tree, like she's going to think like, cool, nice, like something really positive is happening in her brain. She's feeling good about that. And so then we say, for you guys, you get to smile knowing that your chances of actually getting a review just tripled just because of the tree showing up, right? Because as good intentioned as Rhonda is, and she might want to write you a review, life happens to people. And quite often, the idea of leaving that review just, I'll get to that. Next thing you know, it's number 100 on her to-do list, which means it's never going to happen, right?
There's
So
so much noise, and I think everyone has this sense of what's in it for me, whether it's intentional or not. It's just a natural reaction that we have. So if you offer, well, this is what's in it for you, this feel good moment, then they're way more likely to do it, and you stand out amongst all the noise.
yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Like, I think you and I were chatting about this
Yeah.
before, which is like the tree is like the equivalent of Seth Godin's purple cow.
Yes.
Right? I remember Seth Godin describing how like he's like, cows are boring. If you're driving down the highway and you see cows, you're not going to stop because cows are boring. But if you see a purple cow, you would stop the car and get out and take a picture and probably a selfie, because purple cows are remarkable.
It's
So
different. Yeah.
yeah, it's different. It stands out. And then so when we were thinking about what to do, how to engage tastefully to get more reviews, this turned out to be our purple cow. It was the thing that's just, it's such a remarkable premise that it makes it that much more effective. So yeah, essentially at this point, Rhonda gets ethically motivated by the idea of the tree planting. She ends up writing a fantastic review. And we, like to say that you and Rhonda both smile, and you've, won by invoking the law of reciprocity. Everybody wins from that engagement.
The Purple Cow reference, guys, if you haven't heard of that or read the book, that's a good marketing book that you can pick up, actually, probably on Amazon. It's just called The Purple Cow, I think, Purple Cow Effect by
Yeah,
Seth.
purple cow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very effective, this whole premise. To date, we've helped our members like Braden over at Mortgage Line get a total of 68,000 reviews, and we've planted 68,000 trees. We're on a mission to empower businesses to get 1 million reviews so that we can plant 1 million trees.
Wow.
And
What I loved about this too is that the feel goodness doesn't just end with the tree being planted, right? Because of where you're planting these trees, and also I think you mentioned being able to employ people to actually plant these trees too. So this is going full circle.
yeah, totally. This provides like work days and jobs for people in some of the poorest parts of the world, and also parts of the world that perhaps don't have forestry management practices that are as evolved as Canada. There's places where there's a lot of illegal logging or shenanigans being done out in the wilderness and stuff like that. So yeah, for sure. The earth needs more trees, and our biosphere needs all the help it can get, so that not only we can protect the planet, but just protect ourselves too. All right, so that's secret number 2. Don't just cross your fingers and hope that you're going to get a review, like just out of somebody's good nature. Like, invoke the law of reciprocity and increase your chances of getting that review. And the last secret is this is an easy one. Getting reviews basically can be really tedious without the right tools. And secret 3 is all about leveraging software basically to do the grunt work, and specifically doing the grunt work in one key area, and that is sending out automated reminders. Reminders are so important if you want to get reviews, because again, like, everybody's busy in busy mode or in lazy mode, right? And so it's just like, I'm busy, leave me alone, or I'm at home watching Netflix as I've had a long day, leave me alone.
That's
right?
so true. Busy mode or lazy mode. I love that. You got to catch them at the right moment, right?
Yeah, you got to catch them at the right moment. Totally. So
just in between the two, maybe.
Yes, and it essentially, I mean, Sarah, sending those reminders is just essentially about applying a tasteful amount of friendly pressure on somebody.
Yes.
So all we're trying to do, just give them a friendly little poke, like, hey, don't forget about me. You had a great experience with me, right? That mortgage that you got from me was great. Put a smile on your face. I'm sure you're happy with the house. Don't forget.
Tasteful is a key word there too. We don't want to be over reminding. We don't want to be under reminding. So it's important to have, the professionals step in and know what's the right amount, really.
And that's a really important part too, and something that we tested exhaustively and continue to test here at Starloop. That not only should the reminders be going out automatically, because doing it manually, like, quite honestly, it's miserable work, and it'll get done poorly if it gets done at all. Mm-hmm. But also too, like, it's just such a fine line between sending too many reminders, so now it's like, people are getting a bit turned off, or too few reminders, and so there's not enough friendly pressure being applied, and the opportunity to get that review is gone.
A very fine balance, because you could spend, all this time
Yeah.
putting together this great transaction for your client. They're happy, whatnot, and then you're bombarding them with emails asking for a reminder, and all of a sudden you're leaving a bad taste in their mouth. So your
Yeah.
your reputation, all the trust and work that you've built up is now on its way downhill. So I
It's
think
being eroded. That's
yeah,
right.
exactly. This is really
Yeah.
important to keep in mind.
Totally. So yeah, essentially the reminders need to be nicely spaced out, not too close together, using language that says the right thing on the right day at the right time. All that stuff is super important too.
Yeah.
For example, like if sending a reminder to somebody when they're commuting to work, that's probably going to be a misfire and a wasted
Yeah.
opportunity.
Unless they're on a
What
long
we
train ride and have nothing else to do, right?
yeah, yeah, totally. So there's lots of ways to do this. The way that we do this is basically to send those reminders, right message, right time, drive the clients to a modern, mobile-friendly review page that acts as a jumping point, right, to your Google and your Facebook pages. This is the way that we do it here at Starloop, just a nice, clean, distraction-free, mobile-friendly layout. And the reminders basically, because I'm going to go out on a limb here and I'm going to say that, like, the brokers, the lenders, they're all great people trying to serve their communities as best as they possibly can, showing up, working hard day after day. And chances are, overwhelmingly, the clients are walking away having had a positive experience.
Mhm.
And so they have a good sentiment. And when they're engaged about like, hey, we'd love to invite you to leave some online feedback, tree gets planted for every review we get, whether they fully understand what they're hearing at the outset or not, it doesn't really matter, because I know this corny pun, but the seed has been planted at that point. Like they've heard that language or they've seen that message. And so when the reminder comes in, they're like, oh, that's that feedback / tree planting thing. And the aha moment happens. And then sure enough, they click through, and within a couple of easy clicks, they're on your Google and writing another 5-star review. Just make it compelling, make it easy, remove that friction, get them to where they need to go, and you can start banking those reviews that you deserve, basically.
We have a good logistical question here.
Mhm.
They want to know, is it possible for a person to do more than one review? So, let's say they do a mortgage with them today, they write a review, but then 3 years down the line, they do another one. Is it possible in your system for it to be triggered to ask for, that person again, even though they've already written one?
Yeah, sure. A couple points on this. I feel like we live in a day and age where, again, humans are so busy and lazy that if you can get one review out of one client, like notch that up as a win right
Good
there.
on you. Yeah.
Yeah. Regarding re-engaging them, I guess there's going to be many schools of thought on this. The way that we think about it at Starloop is that 90 days is a fair enough cool down period to re-engage from most businesses. And I know that for you guys, 90 days is a very short window because people probably aren't getting in and out of houses that quickly anyway. But for most of our members who are in other business types, like say, I don't know, a hairdresser or a plumber or whatnot, then the 90-day cool down, or fail safe as we call it, means you can't double add somebody into Starloop during that period. But after 90 days, they drop out and they can be re-added.
Okay, makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
total sense.
Yeah. Also, too, with the way that we've got things set up, it's to help our members get reviews on Google and Facebook. So if you were re-engaging, then perhaps that person might think to themselves, well, I already wrote a Google review X number of years ago, a couple of years ago when I got that mortgage. Now I'm, getting into my next apartment.
Yeah.
I've signed another deal. I'm being engaged again. Like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to leave a Facebook recommendation, as they call them these days.
That's great. Yeah. Multiple platforms. Very important, guys.
Yeah. Multiple platforms. Just to kind of bookend that subject too. If you did have Google and Facebook as a review option, I've, in the 5+ years I've been doing this, I've never seen in the 68 thousand reviews that we've gotten. I've never seen anybody write one review on both platforms, like from the same client write two reviews. Sorry, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay, interesting. So
Yeah.
they pick either or, and they don't cross over at all.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. It is either or, and that's what I was saying before. Like one review on one platform.
Yeah. Would you say the statistics are higher to get Google or Facebook?
You know, surprisingly, it's been Google, which is fascinating to me.
That doesn't
Because
surprise
Facebook.
me. That doesn't surprise me at all. No, because I don't know. I think we're so much more reliant here on Google reviews for sure. If anyone on the line wants thinks differently, I'm happy to hear it. But I honestly think that everyone's going to Google for reviews.
Yeah, I mean, I go to Google to find reviews, but I just feel like so many people spend an incredible amount of time on Facebook and might kind of be thinking, oh, I'm on my way there, that I'll leave the Facebook recommendation, but it hasn't worked out that way. So, you know, my assumption's been shut down.
Yeah, I don't think that they rely on it so much though for reviews. Like I don't expect a business's Facebook page to be a true reflection of that business, but I expect their website to be and their Google reviews to be. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just that we've been so ingrained to, you know, if it doesn't exist on Google, it doesn't exist at all kind of mentality. Totally. That we do have another question here actually before we get off. Before we move on, sure. Will Google or Facebook limit the number of reviews from a single person? I don't think so. I think it's one review per email address. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. So if somebody's like, say, I don't know, if I wanted to write a review for Braden over at Mortgage Line, if I wrote him a review today and then I went to write a review for him next week, it would overwrite my existing review. Basically. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Also, too, just on a side note, too, since you know, part of what we see on the screen here is the ethical motivators with planting the trees. When we're talking about reputation at all, I feel like we all need to take the high road because it is our most valuable intangible asset. I'm not saying that anybody here would do this, but I want to just caution everybody: do not be tempted to buy fake reviews from anywhere. Yeah. This is our reputations that we're talking about. Slow and steady wins the race. And not only that, but there is, in the States, they've already passed laws to basically give the attorney general's offices of the different states the ability to prosecute and fine businesses that have been caught purchasing reviews. And that's already happened. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah, I would second that recommendation. Don't do that, guys. Yeah. All right. So that's the 3 secrets to take control of your online reputation. Ask correctly using that nice natural language. Motivate ethically. Try to invoke the law of reciprocity. Remind automatically. Using technology to save you time and get maximum 5-star reviews. Love it. I do have some parting thoughts here. Can I take it, bring it home here? Yeah, please do. All right. Parting thoughts. So the trust economy is here. I want to encourage you guys, like, regardless if you're working with us or not, just really prioritize building your own Starloop and to do this with relentless intent. Okay, this isn't a later thing. This is a now thing. Every day that goes by is your competition having the opportunity to get reviews and pull further ahead of you guys. And as you know, the scoreboard matters when it comes to reviews. You know, we gravitate naturally as human beings to the highest rated, most reviewed option available to us. That doesn't mean that you have to be the highest reviewed option in your marketplace, but you don't want to let a competitor get so far away that when somebody's doing their research that they're like, oh, these guys are the clear choice over here, you know, not you, sorry, I don't quite feel comfortable. These guys give me a better feeling, kind of thing. So don't let them steal your thunder and get so far ahead and be the ones with all the star power in your marketplace. All right. You know, deploy some of these secrets that I shared with you, start getting your reviews. And if you set things up the right way, you can just be getting reviews basically 99% hands-free and while you sleep anyway. Wow. All right. And the last thing I want to chat about is this. I believe that online reviews are a new asset class.
I do. And here's why. You know, you take two businesses, one with very few reviews and one with a ton of reviews, and think about all the advantages that the business with a lot of reviews has. It improves their marketplace positioning. It can give them that market leader status, or at least show them to be like a true competitor in the marketplace, rather than having that lights out kind of feeling of like, man, are these guys even open for business kind of thing?
Yeah.
Having lots of reviews also helps to, obviously, as we talked about, helps to attract more clients, which drives sales growth. For larger organizations with employees, it makes it easier to attract staff because, if I'm thinking about getting a job, I'm going to gravitate again towards the place that has the best reputation. I'm probably going to go interview there first.
Yeah, so this is also for growing your businesses, guys. It's not just attracting clients, it's also attracting brokers. Should you be wanting to grow your team, they're going to absolutely be looking at your reviews.
Yeah. And then the valuation, right? So it just makes your business more valuable. I mean, a business with hundreds of 5-star reviews has a ton of verifiable goodwill in the marketplace. And I think lastly too, for folks that are planning an exit at some point, like just having all these reviews and the 5-star reputation just makes your business easier to sell, because buyers are acquiring a going concern with an established reputation that has all this inherent value.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is Ryan McKay. I'll wrap it up with a quote from one of our members. And I asked him one day how it was all going. And he said, it's going great. The phone's ringing like crazy. It's like every online review pays us dividends over and over. And after 24 months of him breaking sales records month after month, much of it driven by his online reputation, Ryan just basically said, you know what, I'm selling my company, I'm out. Mm-hmm. So yeah. All right, that's the tail end. Should we field some more questions, or should I show everybody the special offer, or you tell me?
Yeah, you can pull up the offer, and if there's questions, guys, now's a good time to ask. We'll just let them kind of type in the chat or unmute their lines. You guys are welcome to join if you have questions. Yeah, go ahead.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. All right, so the special offer for everybody here is normally it's a 14-day free trial, but we're happy to welcome you guys with a 60-day free trial of Starloop. And there's no long-term contracts or obligations to stay. Just take it for a spin for 60 days. Start putting some points on the board, and get unlimited reviews for 60 days here. And I put an asterisk there because I just put within reason. Like if you guys are getting 500 reviews a month, then yeah, let's talk. You guys, that'd be a happy problem to solve if I'm saying you're getting too many reviews. And it wouldn't be a special offer without a bonus. So I'm offering a private coaching call for the first 5 action takers that want to sign up. I'll do like a reputation audit on your business, take a look at your Google, your Facebook reviews, your competitors, and make specific recommendations.
Oh, that's amazing.
Based on what we find there.
That's great. Yes. To have a professional really take a look and see what might be working, what might be not working, what you can adjust with your online reputation and your process. That's really special, guys. That's a really cool offer.
Yeah. So for those of you that are interested, just go to that URL there, starloop.com/pricing, and I'll show you guys here what you're going to see. So you're going to see Starloop Solo, Starloop Plus, and Starloop Pro. The key differentiator between these 3 memberships is the number of invites that you get per month. So you can see with Starloop Solo, 50 invites, Starloop Plus, 150 invites. That's the number of clients you can add into Starloop at any given month. So if you're low volume and you think, 50 invites is enough, just sign up for Solo there. If you need more, then just move up the membership tiers.
So when you say phone support, what is that?
Phone support is essentially our team getting on the phone and answering your questions like live instead of just via the support ticket email desk.
Okay.
Yeah.
And reputation monitoring, is that you guys are watching to make sure no really bad reviews come through, or?
Yeah, basically. we're monitoring the good, the bad, the ugly. Anything that's coming through is just you're being alerted to it. You'll get an alert from Starloop just letting you know, like, hey, Rhonda wrote you a review, 5 stars. Here's what it said.
Wow. Okay. And what's a review widget?
The review widget is a widget that you add to your website, and it's going to create like a cascade, I guess you could say, of your most recent reviews, so that
that's great.
I guess you could say it's like the contemporary version of what used to be the testimonial page. You know how like most businesses used to have like, here's our testimonials. Like,
Yeah.
testimonials are okay, but online reviews have infrastructure now, which is Google. And this is a way to basically weaponize your best reviews by putting them on your website, so that when somebody hits your website, what they see is like, oh, this business actually has 103 Google reviews, and I can see that the last 4 of them were written in the last 2 weeks. Wow, not only do they have lots of 5-star reviews, but I can see that they're fresh and recent, because that has psychological influence as well.
That's great. I love that idea. Yeah, that's cool. So then what's the API access?
The API access is for businesses that have access to development talent, so coders of some extent, people that are far more technical than I am.
Yep.
Basically at that point, if you wanted to, you could basically write some code that integrates whatever software or processes that you're using in your business, and then trigger the Starloop invite at whatever point that makes sense after the deal's been closed automatically.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
We got a question here. 2 questions. First one, when is the best time to invite clients to leave online feedback? Like, when is, I think they want to know, maybe, and that can be twofold, like best day of the week, do we want to ask on the weekend or not? As well, post closing kind of thing. How long do you wait? Is it right away? What do you recommend there?
All right. So could you rephrase the question? Sorry.
The
short version of the question.
Sure. When is the best time to ask for a review?
The best time. Okay. So I guess there's couple ways that I could answer this. The best time would be somewhere post transaction being completed. So papers have been signed, person is happy. You guys will get a sense, because you guys know your business way better than I do. So you're gonna know, like, is the optimal time after X event, right? And you guys know what the X is. I don't know what the X is. Is it after you've sent the papers? Is it a week after? Is it when you send like some kind of follow-up email that I don't even know exists that says, thank you so much for choosing us,
Probably on closing, when they're, really excited, and before the reality of moving's kicked in, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Yeah. And I'd say too, like, Braden would have some insights into this stuff. And I'm actually, given our conversations that we've had, and I spoke with Braden not too long ago, just on a one-on-one, because I wanted to do a bit of a deep dive to find out a bit more about how they were using Starloop and their experience with it. That I might put together like just a private coaching group, like group coaching. So that we can share these kinds of learnings with everybody. Because
that'd be great.
When Braden gets an insight and an aha moment, like, that's something that can be a tide that floats all boats, kind of thing.
Yeah.
The other way to answer that question around timing is time of day, time of week. And all I can say is this: we've sent out somewhere around 1 million emails and text messages. That gives us a big data set. It shows us what we call red and green zones for every single day and time. Sorry, every single day of the week and every single time of day during the week. So the classic example I like to use as a red zone is commuting. Like, for the most part, that's a red zone, and it's not a great time to be sending out those invites. Green zones are the times where engagement and conversion is optimal. And it's different for every single day of the week. Like, the red and green zones on a Monday are going to be different than, say, a Friday, when people are knocking off work and their spirits are a bit higher, compared to, say, obviously a Saturday or Sunday. So the only way you can figure that stuff out is just by testing. And fortunately with
Yeah.
Starloop, again, we've been testing this stuff and keeping an eye on it for 5 years. So you don't have to worry about it. You just add your
Yeah.
clients into the Starloop and it's going to figure that stuff out for you.
So that's part of the service that you guys offer essentially.
Yeah. Just it takes that off your plate so you don't have to.
Yeah, that's really great. When I was in PR school, they always said 2 o'clock on a Tuesday is the best time to send out any kind of, news release and have the best chances of it getting read and heard, because people are, it's not Monday, it's not the morning, they're a little bit more relaxed in their week. 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, great time to get through to people.
Did you find that to be true?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's not just what we say, but when we say it, that's for sure. Timing is
Absolutely.
very
Yeah.
important.
There was another question, the promo code, how do they get it applied? Because on the website, it'd probably just be the normal offer, right? But if they want to
Yeah.
get 60 days?
Yeah. Great question. Look, we're just going to know that, look, there's a Canadian mortgage company that signed up. And so we're just going to apply the code on the backside for you guys and make sure you
Oh,
get
great.
that 60 days.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or if you guys want to sign up too, you can let me know and I can let Daniel know to watch out for your name.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Here's another interesting tidbit that I want to share with you guys. And these are averages, so keep this in mind. But there's two subjects here. Conversion is king and compounding is queen. So conversion is really important. And what we found was this: if you cross your fingers and hope to get a review, you're going to get about a 1% conversion. If you try to bring it in-house and try to figure this in-house, for a typical business, the conversion rate's about 3%.
Yeah.
Other software that is using outdated language, doesn't invoke the law of reciprocity, and has reminders that are a little bit more shotgun versus sniper, the conversion rate on those platforms is about 6% on average. And we know that just because we have a lot of our members that come from these other platforms. I'm like, what are you guys doing here? Like, weren't you happy over there? They're like, conversion wasn't great. What was your conversion rate? 5-6%. Okay, cool. With Starloop, our average conversion rate, and again, this is our average. I do believe that property professionals convert typically at or a bit higher than average, because you guys have a kind of ace up your sleeve. And do you know what it is? Do you want to take a guess?
The law of reciprocity?
No, that's our ace. What's your ace?
Oh, their business, their client services.
Yes. Because of the nature of services being rendered, you guys create a meaningful connection to your clients that other businesses just don't have the opportunity to do. Like,
right. Yeah.
Sarah, say you're like, Dana, I'm gonna buy you lunch. And we have a great meal. The waitress comes along and says, okay, guys, that'll be $60. Have a nice day. By the way, can you write us a review? Like, she spent 5 minutes with us. We have very little connection to her. That experience was very transactional. Whereas the experience that you guys have with your clients is more emotional, consultative.
Yeah, more emotional, I'd argue too, because, buying a property or whatnot is the biggest transaction of your life. So
yeah,
it is quite an emotional thing. People get attached to their properties,
Yeah.
Or maybe even purchasing a vacation home is their lifelong goal and they're finally making it. So absolutely, yeah, you guys have quite the opportunity there.
Yeah, good connection to the clients, which really helps with conversion rates.
Yeah.
Here's my favorite slide: compounding is queen. So these conversion rates might not seem like such a big deal just in an isolated timeline, like for a short period of time. So if you see at month 1, the difference between these things is not a lot. Wow. But if you go out to 1 year, year 2, or year 3, the difference in those higher conversion rates really starts to stack up. And it's the difference between being at the back or the middle of the pack, or starting to push towards the front of the pack and being a market leader.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. We have another question here. Once they sign up, do they need to invite their clients? Like, what do they need to get this going? Just their email addresses or?
Sure. Good question from a technical perspective. So all you need really is their first name, their email address, and if you want their cell phone number as well, because you can invite people into Starloop by email address or cell phone number.
So you can text them as well?
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. Love that. Love that.
Mhm.
Do you find any difference with the conversion rate between text and email?
Yeah, you know what? I love this subject because it's a kind of an embarrassing story from my end, which is the texting feature, Sarah, was like one of the most requested features that we
Yeah.
had at Starloop. And it makes sense. Like we're in a mobile first world.
Yeah.
Can we please invite our clients by text message? Yeah, sure. We'll develop that for you guys.
Yeah.
And so sure enough, we develop it, we roll it out. We're like, guys, it's available for you. Have at it. And we found something really surprising. And it's that email still converts better
Mm.
on average than texting. And I think that we don't know why, because it's a really fuzzy thing to try to measure. But I think what's happening is this. If I send you a text message, I'm interrupting you. I'm forcing you to look at your phone. I don't know what you're doing. You're
Yeah.
doing something, no, right? You're
That's
being
true. Yeah.
busy. Yeah, you're being busy or lazy. I'm interrupting you. I'm forcing you to take a peek. So when we think about, if I can use the term, the energetic difference between receiving a text and an email, I think it's quite significant because you check your email when you have a moment that's convenient for you to do so. And
Right.
I want you to have a moment that's convenient
You're
for you because
expected to be interrupted. You're ready to type. I was gonna say maybe it's the thumbs on the iPhone or on the phone that they're not that into. Having to do it
maybe
like it's easier for them
possible.
to use a keyboard.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so with the email, I want and need the recipient to have a moment that's convenient because I need them to take that extra step, to take time out of their day, couple clicks and write the review.
Mhm.
Um, Also, too, the SMS is a one-shot deal, whereas the email benefits from a sequence. This is
Mm.
an important distinction too that I'm talk about real quickly here, which is if you add somebody into Starloop by email, it's going to trigger a sequence of 3 emails maximum. And I say maximum because our client Rhonda here, she's only going to get those 3 emails if she doesn't open the
She
first two.
doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. The system will detect engagement and it'll say, oh, she opened up email number 1. I don't need to send out the reminders.
Right.
Or she didn't open email number 1. Excuse me. I need to send out email number 2. Or she
Mm.
didn't even open that one. We need to send the third and final reminder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We have another question. What number do the text
Mhm.
messages come from?
Good question. I would have to find that out from my CTO or
Yeah.
one of
Okay.
my developers. But it won't be a local number. You know,
Yeah.
it's not going to be like a area code that's local. But we do find that it's okay because the text message itself has got some customization points that add a high
Oh,
level of personalization and context to the
okay.
person who receives the text
Yeah, I
message.
think, and I get this a lot too, people taking issue with texting their clients when it's not coming from their personal number. I think that's something we all need to
Mhm.
kind of look past because to be honest, like, you know, the last time I made a reservation for a restaurant, they're texting me to confirm. My dentist, they're texting me to confirm, you know, press 9 to cancel
Mhm.
or 1 to confirm. And so I'm not so wary anymore that it's as long as the text does a good job of explaining where it's coming from and, you know, uses the business language that I'm looking for. I'm not so
Yeah.
worried that it's coming from a different number because I know a lot of businesses use that now.
That's right. Yeah, as long as like you know who the sender is and there's a high degree of relevance around the
To
text
yeah,
message that you just received around the
yeah,
personalization points
yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, because they are the person receiving the SMSs from Starloop, it's going to have their name, it's going to have your name, the business name, etc. So we're going to be
Mhm.
like, oh, yeah, it's from Sarah. You know, I need to
Yeah, exactly. It's
pay attention
and
to this.
it's flagged in their mind because they know they're working with you as a broker, so they're going to recognize it. They're not just going to trash it as
Yeah,
spam, you know.
yeah, it'll be okay.
All right. Oh my goodness, we're at the top of the hour. I'm just going to go over the takeaway tip for the week, unless you have something else to wrap up, Danielle.
No, that's it. I
Okay.
think we covered everything, and hopefully, if folks don't feel like they just got hit with a fires of new info here, because I know we covered a lot of ground, but yeah,
That's okay.
pleasure being here. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna share my screen and go over the tip of the week, guys. So takeaway tip to be entered to win our $200 prize that's going to be drawn. I think is this the last Tuesday of the month? I'd have to check my calendar. So chances are high at winning this if you go on our MA Nation Facebook page. As always, posts include hashtag Tip Tuesday, and we just want to hear what's one reason, you know, to you why online reviews are such an important asset. Why are they? Why do we care about them? You know, is it to build trust? Is it to help you get recognized in your market? Whatnot, whatever that reason may be, all you have to do is go and post it on the Facebook page, and we're going to do that $200 draw soon. So good chances.
All right.
All right, guys, this was super awesome. I hope that you enjoyed this. This is such a cool product. Daniel, you're such a genius, such a forward thinker. I really loved our time together, and even our pre-conversations. I think that you have a lot to offer the world and the marketplace at large. And yeah, I just hope that we all learned something from today, and you guys take this away. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I've enjoyed our time and just sharing the stuff, and I hope your people got some good takeaways.
Yes, great. So this recording will be available. If you have questions, you can reach out to me, and anything necessary I can field over to Daniel, or you can just go ahead and Google Starloop reviews, and I'm sure it'll pull up the webpage for you. Okay, we got some thank yous coming in. All right, guys, thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesdays. We're going to sign off here.
Cheers,
Bye.
everybody. Bye-bye.